Hello and welcome. My name is John, also known as Saya, also known as Chimera in some parts of the internet. And I just kind of wanted to make an introduction video just about what my channel and my live stream and I myself as a person are about. So I'll just get right into things. First video game I ever played was Sonic Spinball for Sega Genesis, and that game was really hard. I still haven't beaten it to this day, and I plan on it. I will one day beat that. I think it's on Steam now, so I could stream that using just my PC. So one day I'll beat that game. Trust me. The first game that actually meant something to me though was definitely Final Fantasy VIII for PlayStation 1. I guess I was probably going through kind of a weird time in my life when I was in fourth grade. But I would just kind of come home from school every day and play Final Fantasy VIII. And back then, back when you're young and you play video games, you just kind of explore and live inside the game. I remember playing Mario 64 after I beat it, and I would just still play it and go into what is it, the Bob-omb place, and just kind of fly around a lot and stuff. And that was awesome to me. Just I felt like I was the king of that level because you beat the King Bob, obviously. So that was my territory. So that was just kind of what I did. That's how I played video games when I was little. Was I played them for hours and hours, and that was Final Fantasy VIII for me. Especially you know eventually got Eden and all the GFs in the game, and it was awesome. So yeah, Final Fantasy was just a big part of my life. Final Fantasy VII as well, the entire series. I won't get into which Final Fantasy is better because it's obviously 8, but no, Final Fantasy 8 and 7, both really good, and 6 and 9 and 10, all of them. Also played 14, new version. Guild did really good in that game actually, but that's another story for another time. Now, around 99, when I was 9 years old, my uncle made the mistake of showing me a video game on his computer, and that video game was Starcraft. And I don't remember if it was Starcraft or Starcraft Brood War. It was one or the other, but I wound up getting it. I remember specifically because I played it right before I went on vacation with them, and the entire time I was on vacation, I just wanted to come back so I could play Starcraft. So it was really fun. I thought the photon cannons were the coolest thing ever. So got Starcraft, installed it on my mom's PC at home back in the dial-up days, and I played that game a lot on the newbie money maps and stuff like that. I didn't get competitive with it. I Before StarCraft 2 came out, I got into IC Cup a bit. I hit D plus I think or something, but whatever. Not a big deal. Just that was my first multiplayer game experience, I guess, where I just got to play other people and see how mean people were, and just play a game that wasn't just against computers. So next in high school, I started playing Smash Brothers Melee, and I remember talking to my friend Wes, who's awesome. Goes by No Good Endings now, I think, and he's always in my Twitch chat. So shout out to him. But I remember he told me that I can't be good at this game unless I knew how to wave dash. I didn't even know what he was talking about. He just told me, no, you have to wave dash. And so me and another friend of mine, we wound up going. I spent the night over his house, and we literally we sat down, we looked up what wave dashing was, and we practiced we went in 1v1 mode, 99 stock or whatever, and we didn't even fight each other. I don't think we hit each other once that night. We literally just stood there on Final Destination for probably 8 or 9 hours, just practicing wave dashing back and forth over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until we finally not perfected it, but got it down to the point where we could do it maybe 4 out of 5 times or something like that. And that's kind of how my true competitive edge started coming out, around that time when I wanted to be better at everything and just be the best. And no matter how much practice it took or like what have you, just do it because I wanted to have the edge on all of my opponents at all times. And I didn't get super good at melee either. I mean, me and Wes especially, we went around to like almost every tournament in Connecticut at that time. That's where I'm from, by the way. And we just played a lot of tournaments and stuff. Met all like the really good players, like Mewtwo King, PC Chris, Train, DJ. So that was a good time. That was when I started playing live tournaments with games, and that was fun. After that, kind of played a lot of PC games as well at that time. Counter-Strike Source, never got good at. FPS have always been the worst. I've been the worst at FPS. And I actually finally overcame that recently with Counter-Strike Go. I was able to put enough hours into that where I finally felt like I wasn't terrible. Oh, and also Unreal Tournament 4. I'm really hyped about that like full release because I've been playing the pre-alpha a lot, and it's a really fun game. But regardless, so played a lot of Source back then. Played a lot of Diablo 2. Unfortunately, fell into the pits of WoW and played lots and lots and lots of WoW. Farm things for hours and hours and hours and hours on end. I don't regret it though. I met a lot of really cool people in WoW. I'm sure some people watching this may recognize me. That was Chimera on Burning Blade. But okay, then moving on. Also got to Hearthstone. Hearthstone was fun. Also got into OS, which is a rhythm game that's really fun. I really like rhythm games and music games in general, just because I'm the kind of person that can kind of listen to the same song on repeat for like a year straight and not get sick of it. Just obsessive, I guess, but I love that game. Really fun. I got my like PP, which is like your personal rating or whatever, pretty high at one point. I forget exactly what number it was because it's all like fluctuated and different now. But yeah, I played that a lot. You'll still see me play that from time to time, actually, probably on my stream. If I get good again, I'll upload videos. They're kind of intertwined, but I guess now's the time I'll talk about Starcraft 2, because that was probably the biggest endeavor I went on. I wound up playing Starcraft 2 very competitively. I wound up being like laid off right before it came out, and I was getting unemployment, so I wound up like having the means to just play all day. Like I'm talking like 14 hours a day, just like trying to like be the best. And StarCraft's not the kind of game that you just pick up and you're good at. No, you're terrible. You're terrible at StarCraft when you first start playing, unless like I don't know, you're Marine King or something. But I'm sure even he had it hard at first. I love Marine King, by the way. He didn't do it. He probably did. But anyway, so that was the time where I actually tried to like go pro for the first time, like tried to go pro in a video game. And I wound up getting stuck at like top 25 diamond every single season. Heart of the Swarm came out and I got really frustrated, and it became the time where I needed to get like a real job, and I just didn't have the time anymore. And I mean, what was cool though was I got to go to MLG for StarCraft. I played in the Providence Grand Finals in 2011, I think, Providence MLG Grand Finals. It was awesome. I only made it to the second or third round, but I got to see like all the pros and meet them, all like the Koreans everyone's like so afraid of, and it was so sick. And unfortunately, I didn't get to meet Day 9 wasn't there. Didn't get to meet Artosis or Tasteless either. I wound up going to a Barcraft it was during Anime Boston. I went to a Barcraft for a different MLG, but I got to hang out with like DJ Wheat and a few other people. I met Artosis at the Barcraft in Boston. DJ Wheat is one of the coolest people I've ever talked to about video games in real life. DJ Wheat is just all about esports. We had a huge conversation about Savior, who got banned for match fixing and stuff, and it was an awesome time. I love StarCraft, still do. I have a keyboard signed by Marine King. It's the keyboard he used, the QSen, and that was just, my very first try. I guess probably the biggest try I had in going pro at a game. And, something I learned was that once you're working full time, you don't really have the means of going pro anymore. You kind of need all the time in the world, and unless like it's a really specific game, like it's really tough, and it's a really sad realization to have, to be 25 years old and realize that you need to do these real life things that don't allow you to play video games 24/7 anymore. So that's kind of one of the reasons I'm making this channel and my stream, is because I want to be able to give back to the community that I love so much. Not only esports, but just video games in general. I plan on playing a lot of RPGs, live streaming, definitely Final Fantasy 15, because we've been waiting for that game since like before Christ, and that game's gonna be awesome. I don't care. Also, Kingdom Hearts 3, I'll definitely play that as long as I don't get sued. And yeah, just a lot of RPGs too, but mostly competitive games. Right now, I got really big into Smash 4. I really like it right now. Main Rosalina, kind of secondary Zero Suit Samus. I'm not very good at it yet, so you'll see that on my stream and in my videos. I still self-destruct a lot, and I'm just not the best in the world. I did get to catch MLG New Orleans, though, the other weekend, and saw Nairo beat Zero. That was crazy, insane, awesome. So you will hear me talk a lot about esports and stuff as well, but my channel's gonna be kind of all over. If you look at my history of video games, I kind of play everything, every genre. There's really no genre that I don't play. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of what it's about. I want to give back to the community I love so much, and I'm gonna start here, I guess. And I'm just gonna kind of, I don't really have a crazy, insane, like, plan. I'm just gonna kind of wing it and go with it. I hope that people like it, because that's what seems to work out best for me. But anyways, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. I love you guys.